My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See the patternofconduct.wordpress.com. License 8NYK895-38926J3, molesting. And that's why, again, Omnitrans employees, the company Omnitrans, federal prison. They're the same company, group stalking while I'm kidnapped by this entity. And they're engaging in an ongoing sex offense, including Ontario Montclair School District. Alrighty, it is currently 6:40 a.m. Molesting with the Ontario Montclair School District, the City of Ontario, Southwest Airlines, UPS, 8HNS155, 7HTB988, 8H27602, 520644, stalking with light activity, 7B39346. 8MFA 854 8KWN 093. License ZELEGTI 8GQE 805 8AVC 674. CC71A52 paper. 8MLY444. And what I captured on video again, not only the fake sun, Alaska Airlines group stalking hovering over the B&G Plaza, and you see as I get off at Bonneview and Holt Boulevard, Southwest Airlines is hovering where I'm at that intersection of Bonneview and Holt Boulevard, not hovering over some B&G Plaza. And to do so, let me be clear, is hovering for a prolonged period. They're not taking off, they're stalking. As I've shown over a term of year, you're looking at common sense. So you're talking about you're hovering throughout the city of Ontario, because that's what they're doing all the way over to Stater Brothers, as though they're taking off at Stater Brothers as well. As though you're taking off from the Ontario airport, you're coming from somewhere else and hovering over the Ontario, beyond the Ontario airport, hovering over the entirety of the area where I happen to be at, and the fake sun is present as well. And this impossible light activity, no, that's the group stalking system. They're monitoring. License plate 6BFP538. And what I capture is the predatory conduct of a very demented psychopath, one that is threatening my life while monitoring on behalf of the Ontario police with the police, and also engaging in what is the intent to sexually molest with directed light, a demon that wants to touch all over me with his engineered light in order to keep me under surveillance with communication devices. And this is, I capture close-up images and video of this demon bearing the Ontario Montclair School District logo on her arm, while you have that same exact conduct, which I've already heavily documented. And Ontario Montclair School District knows that I documented and specifically spoke about their criminal and sexual violence yesterday, and engaging in what is capitalizing on my presence here in order to molest again. That's a violent sex offender, 8A10359. It is illustrative of what is the, first of all, the mindset and the objective, the demonic desire of the people of the state, by the way. That's what they're all engaged. This is what Satan is in the business of doing. 8ZCY803. I've created what is, first of all, a name for this light that you can't even define, 8PQ5345. The ongoing purpose of it to keep you under surveillance, 8XFA050, and to harass you, terrorize you, okay, because it's weird light, 8UIB708. It's light that rises up onto buildings, moves all across, flashes, does all kind of weird stuff. 8M66698, 46835J3, 5YBR230, 5EYC674. And what you're also looking at is, as I capture that, that's a molestation with directed lighting. You're looking at Southwest Airlines, who was flying directly at that intersection where the fake sun's over me, moving as I move, which is what you hear right now. And that's why you're talking about Southwest Airlines, those companies, they're going to be faced with federal prison. All right, there's unmistakable stalking. 7YRG517, 7P42200, 7YLR579, 8STC594, 7JJS803, 7YL, oh, I read that one already. They're right here flying over me at Bonneview and State, where these demons are stalking 7YLR579. All right, and this is JC Horizon, stalking in the path, monitoring. These are demons that are pacing in engineered light, 04715883, 7BLW087, 8AHF671. This is maniacal conduct. These are psychopaths, pacing all around. Satan using people to pace all around you in this engineered light. All right, including in the sky space. These are demons flying Alaska Airlines, UPS Airlines, Southwest Airlines, repeatedly over me. Okay, and this is what they're doing while I'm showing you a video of the entity stalking by plane and helicopter at the museum. They're going far beyond that to follow me where I am. Inland Empire Recycling, license. I don't see their license plate. That's Inland Empire Recycling, directed light. Did I ask you for help? Why don't you ride your bike then? Go on about your business. Cross path in silence. License plate. That's a third party. That's audible activity. License plate 6DTW279, 8CEE218, 6VXZ117, 7SED010. No, go ahead. This is let me be clear, that was a method of maintaining presence, all right? I'm standing at an intersection where they want to maintain presence, in other words, stand or sit right in front of me. Is there something I can help you with? 7SED010, 7TTY676, 138500, I can't really see that, you try that one. 5STL044, and 7JXM725, 7PLL948. 7EUZ394, 6CRC723. And again, the venue over here off of Bonneview. This is JC Horizon, stalking with light activity around the Dollar General. These commercial vehicles as well. JC Horizon is stalking with activity and light activity creation right over here. 4VGC000, Aramark Corporation, under the fake sun and directed light, 96925F3. License 56062E3. It is currently 6:46 a.m. License 5BWZ565, 6NGH375, 6LWU103. Let's see, stalking with light activity. License 08816Z2. That's Roberts Incorporated. 8SQU055. CC5466, I believe, paper. 8VYZ930. 8YCY065. 6:47 a.m. This is a demon using a tractor trailer with light activity. Alrighty, that's a crossing path, audible activity, and light activity creation as they use a tractor trailer. 8PLA344. That's a Latino male with a neon green long sleeve t-shirt. License plate 8NBX741, and I captured still images of that. License 1469821, City of Ontario. License 7H48637, 7UCD910, 8SPP173, 8PBV082. 8HQW946, that's Mercy House. There, that's a venue, that's a minion that's monitoring inside of Mercy House. And it's 6:48 a.m. And the fake sun goes from what is the driver's side of the bus, where this minion that's operating the bus, and that's exactly what it is. That's why that directed light is ongoing. This is a demon that's facilitating this satanic targeting system and is group stalking with the Ontario Police. And then that fake sun is on the driver's side. 8D31346, 8XNR593, and then in video, as I start walking on Bonneview, you see that fake sun immediately move across that street. It's keeping in perfect alignment with me as I walk in a different direction than the bus is going. The bus is going east. I start walking south. The fake sun is moving south in perfect alignment with me and is right here over here at Mercy House as I am over here. 8SPZ457. And that's exactly what you see in video, and that's exactly what is the case right now at 6:49 a.m. License plate 30157F3. 5GXX706. Just group stalking, studying their phones while they're crossing path, and the entity is keeping this fake sun in direct light. 7ACH859. Monitoring with the Ontario Police. W905DO with children in the vehicle. 8VZD297. That was African American with those children in the vehicle. License 6ACZ315. 6WTP897. 7SHS310. And African Americans targeting another, acting in concert with the police. This has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. These demons are united by that condition, not separated by race, contrary to the false narratives that are, especially in California. What police are doing are placing American citizens under surveillance. 8VDG849. License plate 8WAJ718. License 8XHE627. 8FYX819. 6NQZ133. A2SOJ66, I believe, paper 6VFY633, 5EMS436. 8JWN852, 6YVC145, 5TLJ181, 0144OV1. It's currently 6:52 a.m. That's Union Pacific under the fake sun, doing the same thing that they're doing at the museum. License 8F07030. When you have flashing directed light appearing on the wall of the museum, let me explain this again, while the Ontario police are flying over my head by helicopter, and you have those shadowy demons who are stalking in the path while that flashing light is occurring, Union Pacific is group stalking, and they are group stalking at all times. Okay? And it is on behalf and in concert with the Ontario police. And that's what's occurring right now while I'm reading these license plates, and I'm letting you know these businesses who are representing the people of the state as well, and who are group stalking and monitoring, including Ontario Montclair School District, and they're going to federal prison. Those sex offenders that like to engage in that, in addition to being prosecuted, here we go right here. This is 6:52 a.m. License plate 1407506, and that is Ontario Montclair School District. Yeah, 6GYT249, 8MWP147. 8SEV643, 7355, 5U2, 45125T2, 6XTA081. That's Excel Transportation. I'm going to excel prosecuting them federally. They're sex offenders over here molesting. They're under a fake sun. They're engaging in what is terrorism, and they like to engage in terrorizing American citizens with the police, with the corrupt police departments. License 8NQY447. That includes Ontario Montclair School District. That's how deep that system goes. It does not matter what these demons are driving. They're all stalking together. That's what this police departments are doing in this country, and it is appalling. All right, and I could not make it up, and I've shown you the P.O.C, and that's exactly what they're doing. That's how you have this impossible occurrence occurring after one person after another. They're all demons, all of them. It's demonic. 8HYU939. In case you did not know, if you did not, or if you're not able to connect the dots, the police departments, the police officers in this country, all right, but I'll speak to what I've shown as a matter of direct evidence in the state of California, but it's going on in the rest of the country. They are puppets of Satan. They are engaging in what is satanic while placing American citizens under surveillance, which is criminal. 7YMG973, and it is the work of Satan. All right, and they're engaging in what is the bidding of the devil itself, and the time has come for that to be exposed. That's what I'm doing. 8 MBF 598, and not only that, under the law, I'm not only going to expose you, I'm also going to prosecute you for your condition. 6 SEZ 011, because the police that are of that condition, that are stalking you and placing you under surveillance, this is what is not only criminal, it's prosecution for terrorism. 7 WHPO 97, 8 ZMJ 798. You need to understand every single last license plate. These school districts, okay? Ontario Montclair School District, guess who that? That's the Ontario Police Department. Tracking you down, wanting to molest you. 8 SEC 041, demons. Okay, because that's what's going on with the Ontario Police Department. Demons. Engaging in criminal activity. All right, and as I stand here at 435 South Bonneview, that's exactly what fills this venue. Demons. That's why the entity is, while the fake sun is over here at 6:55 in the morning, it's not going to advance anywhere to be over the Ontario Museum at 7:51 in the morning, 8HQK 584, like I just captured yesterday, like I've captured on plenty of times prior to today. All right, because when I'm at the museum, that's where the fake sun is at. They're stalking with the whole environment. By they, I mean this is the work of Satan itself. Satan's minions are stalking in the environment where Satan is keeping an environment, and the reality of Satan has been proven as well. I've shown you what is directed light. 7GCK016, I've shown you what is the presence of the sun in violation of scientific facts. It's contrary to nature. You're witnessing demonic activity. That is FedEx. That's a small plane flying over. That's a FedEx plane. What you hear, the amplified audible activity, it's 6:56 a.m. 1567697, City of Ontario, is pacing with FedEx above me, City of Ontario on the ground beside me, pacing. 6YOB 353. 8 HBW 408, 8 CLG 252, 7 PTW 089, 4 KBF 643. And this venue in particular where I've been, it's not just Mercy House, understand, it's the area. You're talking about in 2020, 2021, the entity was keeping a fake sun as though it's setting over here. As I'm at the same venue where it's present before 7 o'clock in the morning, daylight savings time or not. This is the P.O.C. 8YHM887, and it's a heavily documented location. 61891W2, these are all demons stalking. 8YIR531, while the entity provided that documentation and did so under the assumption that they'll never be caught, no one's ever going to find out, and if anyone ever did hear, no one's ever going to listen because you thought that you were going to kidnap me and try to silence someone. Which is also a matter of documentation why the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, and those minions of the court system, they're going to federal prison. 8UZN 361, 98NX 165, 42593B1, 6WMA 551, 8SSC 662, and that's aside from the multiple reasons, multiple grounds why they're going to federal prison, and psychiatric wards and they're not getting out. 8MZK 855. Having nothing to do with law enforcement, the practice of law, the legal field whatsoever, ever, in any state. License plate 09175M3, 80860K2. That's TS transporting US.1825494. Molesting with the rest of these sex offenders, they're demons alike. You're talking about the same demonic conduct, a different face. That's what group stalking is. They're all demons engaging in surveillance together. License 6UJZ551. 9E63659, molesting. And the back plate 2194618, that's a large truck. 6 RPG 241, 8YGM 924. The entity concentrating plane activity right here over Mercy House, because I'm standing right here in front of Mercy House, which is where the fake sun is, right over here by Mercy House. Which is where these demons are patrolling in directed light, right here in front of me by Mercy House. That's P.O.C. That's called plane activity. They're monitoring inside of Mercy House. License 8JFX177, and it's 6:58 a.m. License plate 82211E3, security paving, 58114J1. 7ENH 650. Alrighty, it is 6:59 a.m. And the minions inside of Mercy House, they were monitoring the entire time while these sex offenders are molesting with directed light while they're crossing path, and doing so also by planes. Okay, that was Alaska Airlines. That was UPS, FedEx, engaging in crossing path. Southwest Airlines, flying directly over me where I'm at, nowhere near the museum, okay? And they're engaging what is hovering where I am located. And it's very specific. When you see them at the Ontario Town Square, they're hovering right there over me at the Ontario Town Square. That's a necessary migration. You could see that clear movement. And I've shown that over a term of year, but I'm going to specifically remind you what it is you're looking at as I'm capturing it. I'm showing you what is plane stalking, and they're doing it in the specific environment. You're using entire planes and helicopters. And by they, that is the police, the Ontario Police Department, and the people of the state. 8THM 998, 6DNU 247, 4KBF 643, and it is 7 a.m. These are minions group stalking at Mercy House with Mercy House personnel. They're all group stalking. They're linked together by their condition. They're a bunch of demons. 5KZR 409, 7XXE 789. And this is P.O.C. at 7:01 a.m. All right, it is 7:28 a.m. and this is Mercy House, also referred to as the Ontario Access Center. And these are the people of the state that are engaging in criminal surveillance in a bathroom. And they're maintaining presence on behalf of the entity that is group stalking. And just as I captured on video, where you see Alaska Airlines flying over me under the fake sun at the B&G Plaza, you see Southwest Airlines flying over me right at the intersection of Bonneview and Holt, where the Ontario Montclair School District is group stalking, molesting with directed light. This is exactly what you see where I'm walking into the gates of Mercy House, and UPS is flying directly over me, and the gates of Mercy House at 435 South Bonneview, also referred to as the Ontario Access Center. The entity is using the resources as I've documented, as I've revealed it to you, using all manner of plane and train for what is ongoing amplified audible activity. This is demonic. The entity is vibrating the bathroom. The entity is maintaining physical presence in the bathroom. This is surveillance. And just as you saw that plane activity, the reason why I'm pointing it out, the entity is doing this while I am inside of the bathroom. They are hovering over the bathroom, flying over and amplifying the plane activity inside of the restroom. This is terrorism while they are stalking, and they're doing so in these planes as I'm showing you while I'm outside of the building, and you're seeing that they are concentrating that activity audibly. Understand this is demonic, and it is also occurring under what is the fake sun. The entity is covering the grounds with what is directed light and impossible light activity, and you have demons that are entering inside of the bathroom, engaging in surveillance in the bathroom. So I want to be clear, this is what's ongoing. And this is not just physically present. The demons that are on the grounds on surveillance cameras at Mercy House, the demons whose license plates I recited already, they're engaging in bathroom monitoring. This is the sex offender stalking the bathroom. All right, and you're literally engaging what is maintaining presence, just stalling, maintaining physical presence inside of the bathroom. Everything that you're doing, a demon is doing with ongoing knowledge of what you are doing. A violent sex offender that also chases you down in school buses to molest you. That conduct, that character, that predatory mindset is at work inside of the bathroom, and it is on behalf of the Ontario Police Department. All right, it's 7:30 a.m. and this is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. This is P.O.C. All right, this is a demon stalking with audible activity, flushing the toilet. Demon knowing exactly what I'm doing physically inside of the bathroom stall where she's stalking next to me. All right, that's very disgusting and gross predatory conduct, sexually motivated, on behalf of an entity that's invading privacy together, literally engaging in criminal surveillance, and the setting is the bathroom. And this is Mercy House, okay? No resource for the homeless. They're engaged in surveillance and terrorism in the state of California. The entity engaged in what is amplified noises, booming and banging, as though it is Vietnam, while planes are amplified inside, train activity, vibration of the bathroom. This is demonic and terrorizing conduct that's occurring and centering around me. Remember, these are also angry demons as I document them. And that's why they're going to federal prison as well. And you're talking about what is also psychiatric wards. This is very, very demented conduct where they center it on a bathroom, in and around a bathroom where I'm at. All right, it is 7:31 a.m. P.O.C. All right, it is 7:41 a.m. And on surveillance cameras, you'll also see, and surveillance cameras are here at Mercy House. That's what I'm referencing. They are group stalking in the parking lot area. They're in the dead end alley, and they are also inside of the building of Mercy House, inside of the office area. And they are also maintaining presence on the grounds out here. And as I exit outside of the restroom, the entity is sounding helicopter activity. And at the same time, this is crossing a path. These are demons that are No, in other words, monitoring, aware, engaged in real-time surveillance as I'm packing up my stuff as I'm walking toward the door. You have the entity hovering over by commercial airline plane, and the entity is also sounding helicopter activity, the exact same conduct that I've captured on video, while the entity is stalking by the Ontario police and a commercial airline plane who are pacing over me. That's what they're doing while I'm inside of the bathroom. And this is the audible activity that's created while I'm walking outside of the bathroom. And this is all manner of an indication of the police who are engaging in what is monitoring while my panties are down inside of Mercy House's restroom, where the fake sun is right here over me as well. And that is at 7:42 a.m. Okay, these minions are group stalking. The female that's in the laundry room, she's maintaining presence. They're here to do what is criminal surveillance with the state. That's why the fake sun and direct light is here. All right, and that's another plane that's called demonic patrolling. And that's FedEx in a smaller plane. That's FedEx, and City of Ontario is on the opposite side on state with light activity. They're pacing around the perimeter. That's audible activity. And that, what you hear while I'm outside, the entity is amplifying this ongoing plane activity and vibrating the bathroom floor, as though the train, even as it abuts the property, it is not creating a vibration inside of the office or inside of the bathroom. That's sensational activity. That's terrorism. While they're hovering over the bathroom while I'm inside of it by planes and sounding helicopter activity, and also as I walk out. And the fake sun is right here over me where I stand at the property at 7:42 a.m. This is P.O.C.
Places really don't have clothes because of the pandemic.
Yeah. Here I know they do, they just haven't put that out for a minute.
While you looking, can you give me a second? Yes. Miss Lady. Miss Lady. Go to the Sober down the street. If you needed a hotel, they can give you a 5-day voucher with your ID and birth certificate or social security card you have today. That won't be the Catholic. Is that what it is? Almost.
All right, you're looking at what is impossible light activity. You see it on the wall above the washing machine that I'm using. You see it in the depths of the laundry room on the floor. And you're looking at what is light activity. It's creating shadows on the floor while in video I capture this. And it's also creating light activity while these third parties, and these are demons, this is the demon possessed. And you're looking at what is the ongoing setting where the demon possessed are stalking. And that's directed light. And that's what I'm showing you inside of this laundry room. And then I step out and capture the fake sun at 7:51 a.m., which is not over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, where there is no sunlight reaching underneath that south side of the museum. That was occurring at that time while I was there 24 hours ago, because that's where I was located. And that's where the fake sun is at yesterday. Today, the fake sun is not in perfect alignment with the Mercy House at 45 South Bondview. such that it's hovering over the museum while it's also hovering back here over the laundry room at Mercy House. No, the entity's stalking with the fake sun at the museum at this time, aiming light underneath that structure. All right, and today while I'm at Mercy House at this time, 7:51 a.m., even before this time, all right, the entity is aiming directed light inside of the laundry room. It's on the wall, it's on the floor, and while these demons walk in and out of the door, their shadows are both moving along the wall and on the floor. These are demons, and you'll see that when you see that light activity. That's all around them, and they're stalking. That's what group stalking is. They're doing this is criminal surveillance on behalf of the entity that's engaging in surveillance. This is the Ontario Police Department. Group stalking, that's what, and I want to be clear, group stalkers, you're looking at the Ontario Police that are stalking in the laundry room. That's what this is the reality of, and they're doing so on behalf of that entity. They're acting as one, and that is that system that's underway. And the entity is also, again, that ongoing pattern with the stalking with light, coexists with stalking with planes, stalking with helicopters. All right, engaging in what is the demonic pacing as I'm documenting license plates. They're monitoring all together while my panties are down in the bathroom, concentrating that activity and keeping that directed light. Alrighty, it is currently 8:11 a.m. This is P.O.C. Train and plane activity and directed light. That's amplification. And there is no earthquake of any kind that's going to occur where you're running a train, especially not in the bathroom either. That's Union Pacific, 8:15 a.m. That occurs immediately as demons are pacing in and out in front and inside of the laundry room, where this light's just appearing on the wall. There's shadows appearing in them. These are demons. And let me be clear, those are the demons of the Ontario Police that are monitoring via their ongoing stalking presence. It's 8:15 a.m. This is Mercy House. All right, and now you're understanding how you're using what are company names to identify a stalker. That's what Union Pacific is. And I want to be clear, the sound of the train horn is not even coming from that train. In addition to what is that hyperbolic volume level, but it is not even coming from the Union Pacific train. In the same way that this is not sunlight that's just appearing on the wall in front, and that's not natural sunlight that will create shadows on both sides of this laundry room. It's the work of Satan, and these are demons. This is group stalking. It's 8:16 a.m. All right, so what you're going to pay attention to in this video where I capture toward the end of it, I'm showing you first of all what is impossible light activity that's occurring on the wall while minions are walking in and out of a doorway. And they're doing so under the fake sun. And I specifically request a minion to, if you don't mind, to move so I can show the dynamic light that is created while they're walking through a doorway. And what you're going to pay attention to is another demon that engages in replacing presence in that light. That's what the African American male is doing. You're going to see me say, would you mind moving for a second so you can see that light activity? He immediately gets off the counter and he stands over in that light maintaining position. That's what you're paying attention to. They're group stalking. It's demonic activity. It's the conduct of a psychopath. They're all acting together. And with regard to what is the maintenance of that presence in that engineered light, it's achieving a specific purpose. All right, so you have what is the movement of Chris, as I politely request, and he goes on ahead and moves out of the way. This other demon goes ahead and maintains that ongoing position. All right, resuming that position in that directed light, which is intentional presence. Understand that. Pay attention to that, okay? It is currently 8:20 a.m., and that is speaking to, again, not only am I showing you what's demonic, that demonic activity is achieving a specific objective. It's there for a reason, and demons are pacing in it, sitting around in it, talking in it, engaging what is criminal monitoring in it. All right, and this is terrorism. And then while they do so, chit-chat about whatever, that's called impunity. So you're understanding the way in which you're going to prosecute and deal with what is an entirely demented and an ongoing determination as it's exhibited to engage in stalking somebody. It's 8:20 a.m. That's P.O.C. It's not funny, but it's so demented, it's sick. All right, and all I'm doing is showing you what it is that you're looking at. Let me show you the specific movement, the time that they're engaging in moving, where they are standing. Look at the light activity. That's the P.O.C. It's 8:20 a.m. Alrighty, this is the entity stalking with commercial airline plane and directed light under the fake sun at 8:35 a.m. at Mercy House at 435 South Bonneview, and doing so with simultaneity to my pressing play to review a video on YouTube. That's stalking with activity creation. That's terrorism while you're stalking with commercial airline planes. And this is criminal monitoring on the venue of the internet. And doing so with the people of the state who are group stalking inside of the laundry room as I capture on video. And as you hear in the background, the conversation is audible activity and they're pacing and engineered light. It's 8:35 a.m. This is P.O.C. All right, ongoing terrorism. I'm showing you another image at 9:58 a.m. The fake sun is right there over me at the laundry room doorway as I step out, and the entity is creating what is exceptionally amplified. This is like it's entirely demonic. It's while the entity is hovering over the laundry room, you can see, I believe that this is United Airlines, and hovering over the laundry room as I step out, and the fake sun is right there hovering over my head. This is relevant positioning. It's amplified audible activity. This is amplification. This is analogous to what Union Pacific is providing, while the ongoing directed light and engineered light and presence in that engineered light. This is the group stalking conduct, and this is what the police are engaging in as well. This is how the entity is doing so vicariously. All right, so I want to be clear. They identified her as Miss Clark, the African-American female. She's in the bathroom and maintaining presence in the bathroom while that ongoing activity is underway. They're maintaining presence in the office while that ongoing activity is underway. And the entity is concentrating that audible activity right over me at the laundry room, flying right over me at the laundry room, where the fake sun and directed light is right here over me and surrounding me at the laundry room at Mercy House. All right, so this is in every way understanding what it's targeting while they are monitoring. And this is terrorism by a demon-possessed entity engaging in this criminal system. This is P.O.C. Is the restroom open? Okay. Here's the documentation of federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. Okay. Amplifying train activity and plane activity. It's 10:05 a.m. That's the violent sex offender. All right, many of whom are going into psychiatric wards, as I've identified them even by companies that the entity is utilizing to engage in this group stalking system. And Union Pacific is a train that's in motion that is engaging in replicating the conduct as I document it, as I expose it, as I publish it, engaging in that to also sexually offend while physically indisposed inside of the bathroom. Those very companies that I document, Alaska Airlines, Southwest Airlines, FedEx, UPS, engaging in United Airlines, that are engaging in what is plane activity, stalking, doing so while physically indisposed inside of a private space, doing so while monitoring documentation and impermissible threat by a violent sex offender, placing you under surveillance. That's what they are doing right now. It's 10:06 a.m. All right, Union Pacific engaging in what is the incessant use of the trains, surrounding me with that noise while the fake sun remains over me at the doorway of the laundromat at Mercy House. That's plane and train. All right, it's P.O.C. It's 10:32 a.m. There is no earthquake that would ever be created. I am standing here. I took a picture of the train. And this is amplified audible activity. This is demonic. While you are listening to the volume, while you are looking at directed light, it's demonic. It's the work of Satan via sound. It's the work of Satan via the light, the engineered light. And that's amplification with real-time use of a train to stalk me, follow, mirror my conduct on the phone and physically with that noise. Delta Airlines flies directly over my head while the fake sun is over my head at Mercy House. While the train is a means of ongoing amplified audible activity. This train must have already been present, this train abutting Mercy House for that criminal purpose, using this train as incessantly, repeatedly also, which creates no such earthquakes whatsoever, okay? This is the entity that's engaging in what is sensational activity, which is demonic, all right? In case you did not know what earthquakes are, as I'm revealing demonic activity to you, revealing to you what is the fallacy that you've been told about the environment with regard to nature and weather and the climate. No, actually, you're talking about what has nothing to do with global warming. Earthquakes is the work of Satan, in case you didn't know that. That's what sensational activity is. The United States Postal Service is group stalking. And the use of that train is following as I engage in what is taking pictures of the fake sun over me immediately. And you'll see that on the timestamps of the pictures as I take them. The entity is engaging in what is the sound of a horn. This is Satan that's just following me, my movement, my conduct on. And again, I'm citing the name Satan because this is demonic. And these are the demon possessed. And this is literally what's going on as I'm making manifest. I'm exposing what's demonic activity. And it's also extremely criminal. They're monitoring. This is state surveillance. And state surveillance is a demonic system. So while Satan is literally mirroring what what I'm doing on my phone, taking pictures, and also engaging in physical movement. Immediately as I do that, the sound of a train sounds, and then immediately a train is arriving. This is a train that you are necessarily keeping in close presence for that criminal purpose. This is waiting to engage in stalking with activity creation in the same way that Delta Airlines is. Not coincidentally flying directly over me, not coincidentally sounding train activity as I exit the laundry room under the fake sun, okay? That is Southwest Airlines. That's Southwest Airlines. And this is speaking to what is a federal prison for Mercy House. So let me remind you who are standing here monitoring, and also the people of the state, people that are affiliated with the companies that I'm documenting, Union Pacific, they're going to federal prison, all right? You're not going to put a company name in federal prison. You're going to put the people behind that company engaging in this criminal system. And those are demons flying their planes. Those are demons operating those trains. And those are companies, which is a means of identification for which people will go to federal prison for this, what I'm documenting. 8HQW 946. 8BHG 899, 7FJV 146, and 6HRX 109. They are group stalking on the grounds of the Mercy House while plane and train is surrounding. This is terrorism that they are engaging in. They're monitoring, and they're doing so with the Ontario Police. And they're doing so with the people of the state who are using planes and trains to surround me, and also doing so as sex offenders while I'm in the bathroom. Panties down, genitalia exposed, private activity underway inside of a private space. It's 10:36 a.m. Capturing video at 10:36 a.m. This is a reference to the time 10:35, which I'm using as an example of showing you what is stalking with a fake sun while I remain at Mercy House at 435 South Bonneview. Hi, would you guys let me out the gate, please? Thanks. What's your name again? Daniel. Daniel? Okay, Daniel's in relevant position monitoring while you're while I'm documenting on podcast and video the train and plane activity while they're holding a peaceful meeting. Those are demons that are stalking. This is terrorism. All right, terrorism sponsored by what is Mercy House. This is demonic activity. Satan going under the name of what is Mercy House. That's what you need to understand. It is 10:40 a.m. And, okay, so I need to walk up the ramp. Hold on. And it is 10:40, so that's the video that I captured. It's a reference to what is 10:35 a.m. And I started the video, I believe, at 10:36 a.m. I was documenting on my podcast. Of the road. Fascinating. That is, again, BN42U65 paper AAA8HE. It's Arizona. All right, these are minions in relevant position. It's 10:43 a.m. and so I'm capturing what is the movement of the fake sun that's in no way remaining over Mercy House at 435 South Bonneview, which is the case on March 13, 2022. Remember the chain of events as I waited outside and then I entered later. Today I arrive early, I enter, and I leave. All right, and you see where the entity is focusing plane activity. 5UHS 278, you see where the entity is focusing that fake sun, which is within the gates over my head of the property. Not the case on March 13, 2022, where I'm outside of the gates. 8ZXB 689, 5EEV 232, and where the entity is flying those planes over me while I'm inside of the gates. So what you hear, not flying over Mercy House at all, flying right over me on Bonneview. License 7YFE 945. That's the direct evidence. That's the impunity. And when you prosecute the people of the state, Southwest Airlines, Alaska Airlines, FedEx, and UPS, you're talking about what is relentless prosecution, 7MYR242. In the same way that the people of the state, these demons that stalk with directed light, these are the psychopaths, 73922F3, and it's captured as a matter of objective evidence. This is JC Horizon, license plate 9E62830, directed light across the wall while that demon operates that truck. That's JC Horizon engaging in P.O.C. and terrorism. Monitoring while my panties are down the entire time, by the way. AZWY 855-8163181. And what's extraordinarily, I mean, it's so comical. You're gonna pay attention to what is the fake sun on the driver's side of the bus, and then literally hopping as I begin walking south on Bonneview, moving to be in alignment and remaining in alignment with me at Mercy House as I walk down Bonneview. 8FVR545-23225R2. That is in no way helpful to S.I.I.S liquor. All right, because that's what I'm pointing out. These are the type of the things that Satan is doing, moving its fake sun from being over what is S.I.I.S liquor. Very heavily cited because that's where the entity is placing its fake sun while I'm at the bus stop. It's an equally fake sun. It is not helpful to S.I.I.S liquor. It is remaining as an ongoing evidence of what is keeping the fake sun on now a different location. It's still moving. It's still nowhere near the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. It's still equally fake. It's still in conflict with what is nature and that ongoing timetable of I've shown you what is clearly stuck with a fake sun. And in addition to that, while you are engaging and moving your fake sun, which is just on the opposite side of the same street, all right, it's the same conduct, but pay attention to what you're doing. What do you think you're helping? You're not helping S.I.I.S liquor. S.I.I.S liquor is a done deal. All right, and not only are they going to federal prison monitoring with the Ontario police, years of documentation, deportation out of this country if they're not natural-born citizens, license 7VVP628, and then the entity is keeping the fake sun. That's what I'm saying. You're talking about what is the individualization. You're talking about what is an entity that is unprepared for what it is being captured as being exposed as engaged in. So you move your fake sun, it's equally fake. But pay attention to that. It's on the opposite side of the street, in alignment with me. As I captured at 6:30, 4MNE390. As I captured at 6:30, a little bit after 6:30, I believe. And then as I get on Bonneview, and the fake sun is then moving in alignment with me as I go to Mercy House, and it remains there. 8PEN586. No, that's not helping S.I.I.S liquor. You can't help any third party. Everybody's going to federal prison. Everybody. 7JWD189. It's 10:46. It's 10:51 a.m. Showing you what is the grounds of federal prison for companies such as Southwest Airlines. They're going to federal prison. 7XCN835. Not only they're going to federal prison, you're talking about what you're understanding that mindset. You need to get into the mindset if you can. Well, not get into it, but you need to. There needs to be analysis, full analysis of the mindset, the demented mindset. 7UVW432. This is revealing what is the effect of demon possession on human beings, and this is a population engaging in obsessive stalking together. Okay, obsessive, determined criminal conduct in bathrooms where they're stalking. A psychopath that would fly an airplane over the bathroom while you're inside of it stalking you. The level of demented and deranged, deranged mindset. This is speaking to what is necessary as a matter of justice as an American citizen is subject to that. Relevant to federal prison. This is stalking by the state. Okay, 61972M2. Where traditional stalking, the mind state of that stalker is relevant. Such prescriptions, by the way, such diagnoses are in no way outside of the boundaries with regard to the prosecution of the stalker. This is what's going on with the people. This is what's going on with the state. This is what's going on with what are the use of companies. Guess what? Those companies are made up of people who are very, very mentally disturbed while I'm revealing and exposing their criminal activity as I remain subject to it. And their mind state is speaking to what is fitting not only based on their criminal activity, as it's not a secret anymore, but also based on as a matter of justice. You belong in a mental ward, if not federal prison, 7HCH 587. In addition to what is being subject to civil proceedings, draining the pockets of those companies, license plate 8FFC 449, draining the pockets of those companies that are engaging in that level of terrorism of an American citizen. In Southwest Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Delta Airlines, as I'm documenting, minute by minute plane activity over my head under the fake sun. Southwest Airlines following, as I've shown on an ongoing pattern, following from place to place. Southwest Airlines is doing nothing other than what the same thing that Delta Airlines is doing. It's group stalking, okay? Different names, same entity, same stalking. That's what group stalking is. And you will reach into companies and you will be subject to what is going into a mental ward where you belong, right? And prosecuted as a group stalker and never permitted to engage in that sort of business, that trade, that industry, by the way. 8AXE 138. If not, but including federal prison, because this is what they're doing. They're doing on behalf of the police. 14675Z2. These are dangerous psychopaths. That's sick conduct. 6FBV 889. 6GDD 834. And it's 10:53 a.m. But I want to be clear, this is direct while I'm capturing these demons, flying these planes, stalking. This is documentation of what is the Ontario airport. You need to understand what they're doing at that. That's a headquarters for criminal conduct, state surveillance, and terrorism. Every single last pilot, every single person there working there, 6 CSY 873. That's what you need to understand. There is no exception. There's no person that's present. This is criminal conduct, and you're talking about what is a factory of demons. Going to the extent of using airplanes to engage in terrorism. And it's not just me. I'm in Ontario. It's not just Ontario. You're talking about looking into what is criminal conduct in the state of California, and you're looking at the airports. You're not just looking at the courthouses. You're not just looking at the police stations. You're not just looking at the sheriff's departments. They're engaging in group stalking by planes and helicopters. Every single last airport, all of them. This is what the P.O.C. is. 8COG 845, 8AXE 138. It is currently 10:55 a.m. This is P.O.C. All right, directed light inside of the Dollar General. License 8CTD 969, engaging in surveillance, 7KBU 260. Inland truck rental and leasing, California 404256, US dot 335389, engaging in surveillance inside of the parking lot, 8FON 715, KINGSQN, 8PEN 586, 7G 27852. License. This is an African-American male. He's engaged in surveillance. There's group stalking in the parking lot. Right? They're group stalking while you're talking about the satanic conduct of directed light flashing inside of the Dollar General. All right, these group stalkers go in, making a purchase, pushing around a shopping cart, and then group stalking sitting in the parking lot in relevant positions. They're a bunch of demons, all right? 19868F2, that's very demented conduct while they're stalking you. 7KBU260, 8HNX 898, and this is the company Dollar General that I'm going to prosecute for that. The company Dollar General is a venue engaging in state surveillance with the police department. 7GAF 759, engaging in that terrorism. Those are demons at work. That demonic activity is occurring amongst those who are of that specific condition. You are no way separating the fact that they are working there versus shopping there. They're group stalking together. All right, it's 11:05 a.m. All right, they're group stalking at the O'Reilly's Auto Parts, at Halton Bonneview, at the U-Haul. They're group stalking, they're monitoring. They are under the fake sun, and that directed light is occurring. It's also facilitation, a bunch of minions that surround you around a radius are monitoring with communication devices. All right, license, I read that one already, 6GDM 608. And 7GAF 759 is a Latino male, group stalking and monitoring, ongoing terrorism with a minor child. Alrighty, engaging in what is stalking me and threatening my life, doing so on behalf, engaging in the criminal bidding the demonic, satanic bidding of the Ontario Police, and doing so while you're carrying your kids along. Threatening the life of that American citizen and endangering your children, bringing them into that demented environment, which is what the people of the state routinely engage in while they're group stalking. 8LTG817, while they're stalking people amongst planes and helicopters and trains. They're a bunch of sickos. Sickos. But you need to understand that that's the reality of the demon possessed. While they are relying on the fact that you don't know their condition, and they smile and they report to work, engaging in what is demonic activity. This is the conduct of Satan amongst the people. License 33874D2. And they're vicious, malicious psychopaths. 7UYP613, 82184, handicap, 81827B2, ARLAND1, Carreras E90 or EPO9714. That's Carreras Taurus, 23050A3. And group stalking at Alonso's Barber, Raul's Auto Trim, the U-Haul at 831 Hall Boulevard. Oh, let's get this. Alrighty, I had to cut into video real quick. I want to show you the Ontario Police, who are also group stalking via 6RXC 669 1435 969 8B55713 7332 1L2 7FNA 482 8WDN 080 8XDZ 739. They're all monitoring with the Ontario Police. They're going to federal prison. License 18510E3, going to federal prison. And let me also show you who's going to federal prison. Ontario Police, license plate 1627718, vehicle 1034, 2 Caucasian males, license BDW3439, Washington, license 835718A1, 3DRD760, 8T31752, 7TLP875, 9AHV217, 9AVH217. JV Auto Parts is group stalking. They're monitoring with the Ontario Police Department, group stalking in their vehicles as I read that license plate of the Ontario PD, and as I captured video of the Ontario Police in helicopter. 69833 K2 6VHN 521. Ontario Fire, group stalking, license plate 1332569, 8CVT269. Those are my stalkers that are so concerned about what's going on in my panties. All right, they're very violent sex offenders stalking me day and night with the Ontario Police Department, 7JSE 712. Very violent sex offenders, 76169G2, and the Ontario Police like to exhibit that while they're stalking me by helicopter and group stalking, driving around with the rest of these demons. They're all demons engaging in this demonic conduct. Very, very demented. And violent sex offenders, I'm showing them in their true form while they're stalking me while my panties are down in bathroom stalls. That's exactly what these demons are doing. While you see the Ontario Police coming over the U.S.C building right where I'm standing in Ontario, under what is not possibly the natural environment, the light source is over my head. That's not possibly the sun. 8HQT007. That's what they're doing while I'm in the bathroom, stalking. Okay? You're talking about what is stalking the entire time. And then stalking more so, which is evidence against itself. The people of the state are subject to surveillance by the police departments, not only in Ontario, but in this country. And you're talking about what is a new landscape and the way you're going to prosecute that. 5NQB308, the police are in no way above any sort of suspicion whatsoever, and there is zero grounds to ever provide them the presumption that they're not doing something which is criminal or malicious or in conflict with the constitutional rights of American citizens. This is evidence speaking directly to that. 8T67380, contrary to how they're treated in the justice system, as though it's unhealthy to society, like it's sending some message to the police who are not engaging more than, no, you don't have any grounds for what is that assumption of what most police officers are doing. You have evidence which is speaking to the fact that you are to treat the police departments the exact same way you would treat any other person, prosecuted based on objective evidence. It is not sending any sort of demoralizing message in society or amongst police who are being accused of engaging in what is federal group stalking and monitoring. And by the way, this is evidence against the police departments across the country, because what do you think is hovering over them in the other states, in Texas and in Florida and in Nevada, all right, and Kentucky and Nebraska? What do you think is over them? While a fake sun is over me all day long. You already know what the police are doing throughout this country. And by the way, the treatment in the court system is the system in operation. It's designed to protect them. CWL 5777. All right, all of that is going to be stripped up, torn up, blown up. Setting it ablaze. All right, they are revealing the psychopaths, the very dangerous criminals that they are, while the Ontario police are stalking me in thousands. Okay, I have hundreds and hundreds of videos of the Ontario police stalking me by helicopters, day and night. Obsessive stalking. This is state surveillance. And it's impunity. It's impunity with the same demon-possessed entity, the people of the state. And it's not just Ontario. The Fontana Police Department, Montclair, Chino, San Bernardino, Rialto. The entity is group stalking by Montclair Police Department. You're talking about what is an ongoing system. Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, and the entity engaging in kidnapping. While they're stalking by helicopter, 62676W1. This is exactly what they were doing when they were engaging in a kidnapping. Fictitious authority, 7ZUC 760. Waging false allegations and fictitious authority while you're stalking me, placing me under surveillance. They're all going to federal prison. And you remove that infection from society, disbanding of those police agencies, as I've documented their objective evidence of what they're doing. With Omnitrans 1545907, bus 2363, and Ontario Fire.
Route 61.
That's P.O.C. It's currently 11:16 a.m. Alrighty, this is bus again 2363. Arriving at the intersection of Holt and Lemon, 1545907. All right, license plate, capturing on Omnitrans, that employee, federal prison, okay? Not only is this a demon stalking with directed light, that's terrorism. The entity is facilitating monitoring with the police, that's federal prison. The police themselves then fly over me by helicopter, monitoring with the police, as I'm showing you by the evidence, and then you have the direct activity by the Ontario police, who then fly over the Metro 102 apartments. All right, that's federal prison. And you are looking at what is the face that's directly over my head while I capture those series of events on video. Getting off of the Omnitrans bus at approximately 11:19 a.m. This is P.O.C. That's a molestation also that the people of the state are engaging in that directed light. And I'm showing you what is that demonic light. It's a signature of Satan. It's impossible light activity. And it is impossible that the sun would be over me. I'm at the across the street from the bus stop that I was at this morning while the entity placed the fake sun over the opposite side of Shiro's Liquor. Moving in from being directly over the Shiro's Liquor, as I've documented, I mean, tons of times. It is still stuck with the fake sun. It is not helpful. It's showing the asininity of an entity while I'm showing you its pattern of stalking with the fake sun. And you have Metro 102 that is now engaging what is amplified audible activity. The fire alarm is light activity. It's facilitation. 6LZB 444, 7BVT 989, 7TDH 489, 8USY 914, 8JIJ 834. They're all monitoring with the Ontario Police as they're demonstrating stalking me down the street by helicopter. 4NE 8875, federal prison 8E876, 8E86759, 8VJW 299. They're all monitoring with the Ontario Police. That's what group stalking is. This is what I've been breaking down for you. All right, that's why you have the Ontario Police Department, which essentially it is the same entity. It's a different police department. It's the same state system. All right, that's why you have the ongoing stalking by the police departments in whatever city that I'm in, okay? And they are stalking by helicopters, stalking by demons driving around in police vehicles, placing them under surveillance, doing it with the people of the state as I've documented thousands of them, all right? And then you have the entity that is providing evidence against the people of the state. The police and the people of the state are going to federal prison and psychiatric wards where they belong. License BM 53G18 paper 63546N2. License 18182Z2. 8MGB 550, license 8KQY 898, 06008J2, 8ZAA 505, 8XVX 070, dragging directed light in front of the van 29334X1, Pomona ADHC. They're monitoring, license 5PKG 198, and it is currently 11:25 a.m. All right, that's the people that say Metro 102 who do not mind going to federal prison. That's what the pattern of conduct as they continuously engage in it. That's what that communicates. They don't mind going to federal prison and psychiatric wards where they belong, where they are centered by what is evidence, where they live. The fake sun, directed light, the state, the police stalking me at the venue where you live in your relevant position you're monitoring. That is all manner of what is the direct evidence of that. And where you live in relevant position, you're going to be prosecuted. And under that address, literally your lease agreement is as proof of your presence. I'm talking the demons in the leasing office, the demons that are doing the landscaping, the demons that live there, the demons that are visiting while you're there. They're all documented engaging in that P.O.C. 7PGX 933. And that's understanding what's the system of state surveillance. It's through everyone, everywhere, at all times. AW63454, and that ongoing creation of amplified audible activity, that's impunity by Metro 102, surrounded by what is years of evidence, by the way. License 5KUY720, 8MZB795, 7TJT545. It's currently 11:26 a.m. Pay attention to my documentation. I documented for specifically Metro 102 apartments. The fake sun is over that apartment complex and directed light in that parking garage over my head, directly over my head at that same address as I'm documenting hours from now, after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm capturing it today. I've captured it as early as 8 o'clock, right there at that same venue. That's speaking to what is nothing other than what are demons who live in relevant position. Monitoring group stalking on behalf of the demon-possessed police department who flew over their apartment building right over me under the fake sun. License plate 7TJT545. This is during the 11 o'clock hour. The sun is not going to be present over where you live, over your apartment building, whatever it is, whatever property you live on, in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, which is what the documentation has already established about what they are at Metro 102, which is nothing other than revealing what the people of the state are. License 8ZWJ383. Group stalking with the Ontario Police, federal prison, 6W87025, 6VAS 598. And it's the same with these demons who are at these airports in the state of California, as I've shown you what they're doing, stalking with planes, federal prison, 8WZC654. That's exactly what they're doing, and that's exactly where they belong. Stalking somebody in an airplane is very, very disturbing conduct, which these companies, as I've shown you, doing so for years. As I've documented, and knowing that they're being documented, that's also relevant to federal prison and your time in a psychiatric ward where you need to be and not get out, 8NGX092. All right, you are not a normal person. You are not anything that is anything less than a threat because you are wearing, for example, a pilot's uniform, or you have those credentials and nobody knows that you're actually stalking and terrorizing an American citizen, and then you go home at night to your family. No, that's a ticking time bomb. All right, and that needs to be addressed under federal law. That's a ticking time bomb. Those are threats to society engaging what you are calling, for example, the ongoing threat posed to the public. That's what that is. And that's to be dealt with. That's what they're doing, stalking in airplanes. Exactly what the Ontario Police Department is doing, stalking in helicopters. Doing it on behalf of the police. 6E91488. It's 11:29 a.m. 8VKE299, where the owner. License 339YZ, handicap. 98TK666, 8CXU717, 8YIS760. And these demons are stalking at the bus stop, maintaining light activity, 03603J1. Doing so while the fake sun remains over me, moving in the direction north at the same bus stop where I arrive present at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's present over my head at 11:30. They're stalking on behalf of the Ontario Police, maintaining presence and light activity. Alrighty, this is Food Makers Bakery Equipment, is a truck that they're driving. California 195123, US.2388656. And that license plate again is 03603J1. 2 Latino males. And they're using their light as a method of stalking with light activity, flashing light. Fake sun is right over my head. 70620B1, stalking with light as well. That's Downtown Ontario Improvement Association. Group stalking, directed light in the shade while they're crossing paths. Engaging in the criminal conduct on behalf of the Ontario Police. That's grounds of federal prison. You can understand that. All right, if they're not natural born citizens, you deport them out the country. 8ZVA040. It's currently 11:30 a.m. 8VHX710, 6GYF938. One 459-809, 6WTM111, 8WBX571, 9F24998. That's Soto Logistics. 6RFU871, 7L JD058, 83249F3, 8ULZ721. 8PPA557, 03603J1, loitering irrelevant position, 4XDW484, 6YYH486, 701161. That's a conduct that I'm documenting last night. I'm documenting this on an ongoing basis, but I'm showing you what is the demonic behavioral pattern for first of all, the indications of state surveillance. Second of all, the activity of the demon possessed, stalking with light activity, stalking with any method of light, keeping your foot on the brakes, turning your reverse lights on, just sitting there, your turn signals, your hazard lights. This is what they were doing while I was documenting after getting off of Route 83 last night. Stalking me one after another, engaging in that light activity. In concert with 8YVW968, in concert with what was also the Ontario Fire Department. That's what they're doing, stalking with light activity. 86610Y2, 8MHG06L, 7NTK319, 6POE223, 8ZVA750. It's 11:33 a.m. 8MAU764. Let's see. 11:33 a.m. This is Student Transportation of America. 7JJX255. And I also captured what you will see in my images. The people of the state group stalking using commercial airline planes. 7UMD423 hovering over 150 East Holt. So what the entity is doing is flying forward, hovering. And you're seeing how they're following me as you see the fake sun following me, as you see the Ontario Police by helicopter following me. Hold on one second. 615-7682, 59334G1. 42334L2, 17359T2, APSV666, 7NMD324, 8RKT435, 5PIR972. 8PCH 822. All right, so what I was stating, I am, by the way, on Route 83, bus 1268, boarding at 11:36 a.m. And this is Daniel Luna operating this bus going to Upland, California under the fake sun. Documentation already showing Daniel Luna engaging in this pattern of conduct and also harassment while he would operate Route 61 on an entirely different timetable, by the way. And the entity is over me with the fake sun at 9:45 a.m. as he was operating that bus, engaging what is monitoring molestation, terrorism at the Fontana Metrolink train station and for the entire route of Route 61. This is by virtue of literally capturing the same exact criminal, Daniel Luna, monitoring, and this is on bus Route 83, where I'm going northbound from Ontario. Remember, I have already arrived. We're on the dates where I documented this particular minion. I arrived in Fontana at 9:45 in the morning. The entity kept the fake sun over me as I documented in Fontana, over the Fontana Lewis Library. All right, so this is the same employee. I am at what is 11:36 remaining in Ontario, which is no sun that's over the Fontana Metrolink train station or the Fontana Lewis Library. None of that. Okay, remained over me in Mercy House, directly over my head. You see the planes where they're stalking, where that fake sun remains over me. You see that directed light where the entity's keeping a fake sun, where the entity's stalking me by planes and helicopters. And you have what is remaining in Ontario, and whereas I'm on Route 61 that he's operating, all right, and the entity's keeping a fake sun over me on that bus route. That's speaking to his condition, his criminal conduct, and also he's posing an impermissible threat while he is again monitoring me today. 8 KMG 718, that's grounds of federal prison, understand that. It's already grounds of federal prison while you're group stalking on behalf of the police. License 44114H3, 8CVU 378, 8RIC015, and it is 11:36 a.m. where Daniel Luna is operating a bus where there is no legal argument that he will ever have in order to establish that he's in some natural environment and not engaged in what is the satanic system of federal group stalking and monitoring on behalf of the Ontario Police Department and the Fontana Police Department. License 8WFL 540 and the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. 21306C2. GJY 915.
4th Street. Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
6XLL 664. 21306C2. Yeah, I read those already. 1611. Can't really see that one. 8RZN 924. Stalking at Chaffee High School, excuse me, which is the Chaffee Joint Union High School District, Chaffee Joint Union. But this high school over here that's on Euclid Avenue, they're monitoring. Those little demon-possessed teenagers are monitoring as well. 5VIA 808. And that's prosecuted as what is the public entity, the state of California, the police departments. 8KJE 672, engaging in criminal monitoring, already very serious criminal activity, doing that with minors. That's exactly what they're doing. The people of the state, the companies that they're engaging in criminal activity, that's a very specific aspect of their criminal activity, engaging in that criminal activity with minors, which is what the people of the state are doing on an ongoing basis.
6th Street.
SWS 874. 8KLE 672. 8CTD 969. 8UGM 741. It's 11:41 a.m. 8TKE 332. 6HVL 237. 8PXT 670. 8KGM 567. 8PUG 932. 5BRM 518. 7LLK 152. 39004Z2. 8DUH 594. 8KGM 567. 85345G2.
8th Street.
7DNB 547. 7DMB 734. 8RSU 861.
8th Street.
4JDR 145. 50339J3. 6FDM 043. 8Z. I can't really see. 7KIX 188. 4MPD 103. 7TRK 013. 8ZAY 679. 8RXK 834. It's 11:45 a.m. Okay, that's Daniel Luna, bus 1268, license 1399982, and molesting as I get on the bus, molesting me. License 6PTH322. He's gonna get enough of that. All right. So I want to specifically point that out. This is a body of evidence that surrounds the entity, but I have a body of evidence, and I want to remind you about what I documented about that same exact driver, demonstrating what is the impermissible threat. All right. Continuously stalking you on behalf of the police, and doing so in that specific environment, which is an entirely different one, in no way in conformity to what is an ongoing consistent revelation of what is the natural environment under the sun itself. You're seeing what's entirely different. While he is stalking me, he's group stalking me while he's operating Route 61 en route to the Fontana Mountain train station, and today, as I'm documenting, while I'm on Route 83 and arriving in Upland, California at 11:45, where the fake sun is over me at 204 North Euclid Avenue. 7KKJ 780. 6PHW 714. Yeah, I remember that one. 6PHW 714. And license 7XRX 425. I have that already. Oh, this is funny. He doesn't have a license plate on his vehicle. I'm sorry, I have to get this. All right, pacing all around me. DU77 handicap, 8FML038, 8WQL747, 6NGT664. And I want to show you what is no license plate on this vehicle anywhere. Hold on. All right, license. Oh, I read that one already. United States Postal Service. That's the feds, group stalking. License 7VGF573. License 1108382. Okay. Oh, USPS vehicle 6428140. Let me get this license plate. License plate 8SAJ506. It's 11:48 a.m. All right, license 7KKJ780, 8SAJ506. I think I documented that one already. 6NGV436. All right, so a couple of things. First of all, Amazon Prime is in the parking lot engaging in surveillance. They're stalking the path. What I'm doing inside is using the microwave on surveillance cameras inside of the 7-Eleven. Amazon Prime, who I capture crossing path entering as I'm exiting, they are monitoring even in that regard. They're monitoring while they're sitting in the parking lot in alignment with me where I am inside at the microwave. That specific parking spot is in alignment where Amazon Prime is group stalking, okay? License 37105J3. They're also parked in what is directed light as I'm capturing it in the shade underneath 8P74156. It is currently 11:55 a.m. This is at 204 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. License plate, oh, I read those already. All right, and the other one doesn't have a license plate. It is currently 11:55 a.m. showing you what is the fake sign in that directed light where, again, that Amazon Prime is nothing other than what is another company, the people of the state group stalking and showing you what is the evidence, what is the indistinct engagement. It's indistinct. You're talking about what is the same exact demon possession. These demons are working for companies that are monitoring with the police who are engaging the state surveillance system. It's public corruption. All right, license 8XET911. License, and specifically Amazon Prime, the entity as you document it, it likes to engage in what is further terrorizing, further sexually violating, further harassing, further stalking. I've documented this by company names who will engage in what is kind of literally like cockroaches. You document one, and then they'll have what is more, and that's literally the gang stalking conduct. That's why it's not only called gang stalking because it's stalking that's by a group, not a person. It's also because they engage in gang conduct. This is what demons do, by the way. Demons act in bunches. So you need to understand the terminology has a literal meaning, which many people are not aware of. Demons, their conduct, they engage in what is demonic activity by a group. Demons are those that engage in cooperative conduct. This is the conduct, this is the nature of the demon possessed, by the way. And it is literally, as I've documented that many times, okay? The entity, I document one and then you'll have what is a whole bunch of them together. It's like the hostility by the demons. Oh, this is literally, it's as though it's like Satan is hostile. I've identified another actor, another guise under which demonic activity, the criminal system is underway. And then you'll have a whole bunch of that same company name arriving repeatedly, targeting and monitoring and crossing path or molesting, whatever it is that I'm pointing out that they're doing. And then they'll do it more and more and more. All right, that's not only is that the gang stalking conduct is the P.O.C. This is demonic activity. That's how demons behave. Okay, 8JSH790, 8HTV223. I'm going to show you the fake sign over Upland First United Methodist Church because it's not a real church. It's a facilitating venue. Criminal conduct is underway, and guess what? Demons fill that venue. A preschool as well. It's relevant to the way in which you're going to prosecute. 7BHZ 561 047 7583, 8PVG 843, 6XSF 988, 7F 66681, 8TNJ 963. 6MIA025, 8VVL058, criminal summoning, NGRLTOR, criminal summoning. The entity sounding sirens as I am crossing the street of Euclid Avenue. That's what I'm doing. They're stalking with noise creation. 8XBL154 stalking with light activity at Sam's Market 5 and also criminal summoning. 7LCC476. C8ENF 073. BNV4SIN 731VJ handicap. This minion's license plate C7UVL 884, and it is 11:59 p.m. Yeah, the people of the state group stalking where they live. Brian Brandt, this attorney Brian Brandt, group stalking on Euclid Avenue, 323 Euclid Avenue. The people of the state in Upland, California, 323 Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. They're outside in their front yard. They're creating activity under the engineered light, monitoring in relevant position 341 Euclid Avenue. They were also engaged in what is criminal summoning, as I documented, in their property while demonic light activity, strolling all across their brick wall. They're outside monitoring right now. It's 12 p.m. License 5FTX638. Sam's Market 5. Group stalking, monitoring with the Upland Police Department. 6VSN 773, I believe. 8ZVE 256. 8LIE 848. Monitoring with the Upland Police. You can see in video they are patrolling. Those are demons. Remember, those are demons that are pacing. This is not traffic. These are a bunch of demons who are pacing all around me. I am the focus while I'm showing you what is a fake sun that remains over my head. And as I document the same exact venue at the same time in different positions inside of the Upland Public Library, showing you what is the fake sun directly over my head while I'm under the ceiling of that venue at 450 North Euclid Avenue. And so I show you while I'm outside of that venue at the same exact time, what is the sun that is not over that library. That's not the sun. But you also know that when I'm in Chino, California at the same time. All right, but I'm just giving, again, what is unmistakable direct evidence of it, revealing what is also what you need to understand, because it's clearly established. I have clearly established beyond a shadow of a doubt, by the way. You're talking about beyond a reasonable doubt would be the standard in criminal law, by the way. 8RAC534. What is, first of all, demonic activity? And it's relevant because they're going to be prosecuted for what is terrorism. And this terrorism is revealing what is demonic. And this conduct in this environment, which is in violation, okay? It's not just in conflict, it is in clear violation of scientific facts surrounding the way in which the natural environment operates. That is relevant to the standard that I have surpassed in showing you what is group stalking and where it occurs, how it occurs, and who's engaging in it. The demon possessed are engaging in it. FO45FO and the demon possessed are pacing around in Upland Police Department vehicles. In this video where I'm showing you the fake sun is not over the roof of the Upland Public Library. Because as I'm outside of it, the fake sun is directly over me while I want you to look at that Upland Public Library, because it's direct evidence against the demons by the name of Elaine and Cindy and Tracy Randolph, and I believe Noah, and I already speak to Elaine, but Katie, and the rest of those minions who I'm documenting stalking in the bathroom on an ongoing basis, just engaging in criminal surveillance all day long. In a cartoon environment, a fake sun remains over them in direct light. You are witnessing psychopaths. They are psychopaths obsessively stalking. All right, it is currently 12:07 p.m. and that's the significance of showing you that while I'm inside and outside of the same venue. No, that's not the sun. And that's also the case while I'm in Chino, California. And in Fontana, I documented the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department group stalking at 11:59 a.m. That's 12 p.m. as I documented that. And this is the documentation where it's very compelling when you look at it side by side. You're witnessing what is the demonic. You're witnessing the work of Satan, which, by the way, I want to be clear, Satan was hoping that would never, ever be exposed. All right, it is currently 12:08 p.m. Fake sun follows to the Upland Public Library, and this is P.O.C. All right, group stalking and directed light. You have Carissa and Casey. They are monitoring with the people of the state who are in position while directed light is filling all over the grounds. And this is the, while I'm capturing video outside of the Upland Public Library, you do not have any sun that's over the roof that would result in any sunlight coming down through the roof of the, not through the roof, not through the windows along D Street, none of that. All right, and you have what would also not occur. The sun is not remaining over the roof of the address for the duration of the day. All right, so this is, again, impunity. Hi, Carissa. She's monitoring. It's currently 12:11 p.m. What you will recall is March 13th, where I remained at Mercy House, is where I told you to juxtapose those two documented dates. What I did today at Mercy House, what I did on March 13, 2022, I remained there. I didn't leave until after 12:36 p.m. I'm here in Upland, California, at the Upland Public Library. It's more than just what I'm documenting just here. This is an ongoing body of evidence that surrounds the entity. I'm showing you what are psychopaths, and they're going to psychiatric wards in federal prison for the impunity, all right? For engaging in conduct as though you are impervious, you are not, and you're going to be revealed, and you're also going to suffer very severe consequences under federal law. That's necessary when you're witnessing the demon possessed. All right, it's 12:11 p.m. The fake sun is not remaining over Mercy House. It's over me at Upland Public Library. P.O.C. 7AXP941. And stalking with light in front of Upland Unified School District. Monitoring with that demon, 8GRF760. 8TBT543, 8SMB470. 7XPD517, 36007L3, BV22C12, 8BIE369. This is the impermissible threat by the demon possessed who are engaging in what is ongoing stalking on behalf of the Upland Police. 5XHG049, 8TBT543. FedEx is crossing path as well. Fake sun remains on the same street, exiting at 6:41 p.m. 8PYK729. 8GRF760, 7BPJ709, 7UFY375, 29609B3, 8WFS023, 8MIN508, Omnitrans 1370398, 7MOK007, 23285A3, it's Amazon Prime. And that is the demon that's engaging in that impermissible threat. That's that company stalking with flashing light in front of Upland Unified School District. Let me be clear, Molly Super is monitoring while Amazon Prime is creating that facilitating light activity. License 8RTU798 and Amazon Prime engaging in surveillance at 7-Eleven this morning with ongoing knowledge that they're being documented. They're speaking to what is federal prison, reaching into the companies that are the people of the state, engaging in the state surveillance with the police. That's 9ABA727, impermissible threat. 7VXU007. These demons, they dig their own graves. 8PHH626, 7FOF802, 7THU635, 7KYY661, 9AAX555. License 03003. At 6:43 p.m. 47655X1, 85290P1. 7HRE824. 6K, I can't really see that one. 58098A2, I believe. 8WKF353. License 8BZF031, 6VPD334, 8BNZ230, 8HDB388, 7AXN239. 38621C3, 5PYD334, I believe. 7XPX061, I believe. And again, Amazon Prime is engaging in what is bathroom monitoring. Amazon Prime is stalking with light activity again while my panties are down in the bathroom. They are in position, aware of what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Upon exit of Upland Public Library, they are in relevant position, have been engaged in what is stalking with light activity. And the people of the state, the sex offenders, I'm reading their license plates upon my exit. This entity is engaging in bathroom monitoring. So I want to be clear, what is the sex offender that is Amazon Prime? 6:44 p.m., 7FBT018. 7RXE249, 7RNF447. That's Metrolink. It's audible activity under a fake sun and an engineered light, which USPS is stalking in as the feds. 7NMA906. 4ZKR461. 6:44 p.m. 8TNH055. I wish it was home yesterday, but she just left that night. I'm like, okay. right, license 4SJW747, 82240G1, that's UPS, and they're all molesting. The people of the state at 14, 22, and 34 Highway in Upland, California, they're molesting. The people of the state at 477 Euclid Avenue, 461 Euclid Avenue, they're molesting. License 5XFX002, 8SNM 514, 8WFN 837, and these are indeed the demons who are monitoring with Amazon Prime while they're molesting me, now standing outside while they're driving south on Euclid Avenue. These are demons. 6NAB 647, and the demon possessed are group stalking while Amazon Prime is creating that light activity. License plate 7NQR 805, and again, it's beyond what is these license plates, as I've stated. It's beyond these addresses that I'm reciting right here. It's beyond the minion whose image I captured group stalking at the bus stop, the liquor store, everybody that lives in relevant position. You're talking about Sam's Liquor. Okay, Sam's Liquor, Sammy's Market. That's Sammy's Market number 3, I believe. Sammy's Market number 5 on Euclid Avenue. The Upland Unified School District, Molly Super, the San Bernardino County Fire Department, the people of the state that live all around in relevant position. You're talking about what spans a radius. You have an entity that is invading privacy together, engaging in surveillance together. License 8KTK384. It's an unprecedented, never before contemplated level of 8ZVJ 775 level of invasion of privacy by a government that's placing you under surveillance and doing so. What I am recognizing, what I'm speaking to that needs to be recognized is the sex offender that is the state. 8HLX 495. That's what's occurring with regard to what is group stalking with the people of the state. 6SDL 155. They are sex offenders. 41398Z1 8LME 973 258. I can't listen to that one. You just go song. License 7AEA 082. 8769 7F3 8SOF 205 8APW 294. Brian Brandt, the law office where I captured video today, 8LPX 744 at 12 p.m. in the fake sun's on the opposite side of the street, not over the Upland Public Library. 7VAE 270 8LOE 667, in a position where no light is coming through the roof, the sun is not visible through the roof over my head inside of the library while I'm standing outside of the library looking at the outside of the building across the street. No, it's not over the roof. All right, I would not be able to see that if that was the sun over my head outside of the building, and vice versa. I would not be able to see that over my head inside of the Upland Public Library looking up. That's a very exclusive sky space above. I can't see the sun that's right above in front of me at 323 Euclid Avenue, all right? And this is why you capture video. We're not going to sit here and pontificate about what are the possibilities. No, look at it yourself. It's not a matter of rocket science. You're clearly stalking with the fake sun. It's demonic activity. These are demons stalking with light. 7UQF 846, that's what demons do. Demons are entering into bathrooms, okay? Stalking. Engaging in that supernatural conduct. The conduct of Satan is to molest, stalk, surround, terrorize with directed light. Those demons, Satan itself, is stalking in bathrooms while criminally monitoring. And doing so on behalf of the demon-possessed police departments. That's a sex offender, okay? And then these sex offenders are providing ongoing evidence. While the demons are stalking by helicopter, it's evidence against the people of the state. While the demons are engaging in stalking, molesting, and terrorizing with directed light, it's evidence against the people of the state, okay? The state is already dealt with. It's the P.O.C. This is the state's pattern of conduct. 64788K3, 88TK023. $95909V2. $8JQL509. 4ZPM122. BV50Z01 paper. No license. 96, I can't really see that one. 8KAR865. 6XUV783. 8SNC474. 8GQM474. 8106. 4D3 UPS 9AKS338. BF. 8ZCH418 is on the back. They have a paper plate on the front. Molesting me with a child, 8PES 682, Caucasians. That's a female in the passenger seat. Sexually molesting, terrorizing, group stalking with the police, engaging in all manner of criminal conduct, which is also sexually violent, inherently demented, doing so with a child in the vehicle. It's 6:50 p.m. License 8MXL264. That's Metrolink that wants to make sure that it's documented as a sex offender, and it is. While you hear that, impossible, amplified, audible activity. Metrolink is being a sex offender. It's monitoring with the police, 6RJP087, and it's actually demonic activity. All right. When I'm documenting Union Pacific, for example, it's not the actual sound of that train that you can see as I capture video. This is what is directed light. You're looking at that light. It's the work of Satan. 54079R1. It's making manifest to you, revealing what is demonic activity. 7KLT 137, 5KXF 974, 8RSD 491, 6DTC 459, 6WHJ 912, 8NJF 452 is the back license plate. A paper license plate is covering the front. I want to make sure I specify that that's amplified audible activity that is directly attributed to those third parties. Metrolink and Union Pacific are fully engaged in the P.O.C. They are going to the extent of making sure a train is repeatedly used, frequently used, at an exaggerated level of frequency while that demonic activity is occurring audibly. 7JBN 521. They're not ignorant. The entity is using amplified audible activity while demons are maintaining presence. They are group stalking, licensed. 8TPF 658, that is literally the use of a train that is stalking. And you can identify it by the company name, the logo on it. 6FOY 744, 7BSH 932, 38870D2. In addition, I want to be clear, what I spoke to earlier, I was speaking very quickly, going through a lot, pointing out a lot of things at one time while I'm subject to this criminal conduct by demons who surround. And I spoke about one thing which I want to be clear, I want to reiterate. Did you know what you need to know with regard to what I'm revealing through the environment, 8SSS 832, with regard to what is not a natural environment, in conflict with science? This is not what we're told about. 6YGH 816 and Ryder with that same torn up license plate, US.16130. Ryder is carrying the back license 6471SIT. Sensational activity. 7FGY658, sensational activity, as I've documented, the entity creating earthquakes in the bathroom while a train is in motion, because you hear a train, because a train is something that's heavy, and with regard, you can fathom a train is heavy, so then you'll create an earthquake wherever you are. No, that doesn't follow. That's asininity. That's Satan. That's not intelligent. It's not sophisticated, while demons engage in stalking you, okay? You're just breaking that down. They're just plain stalkers. That does not make them intelligent. And I'll leave that alone. 1370398. I won't dig into the demon-possessed police departments and all of what is not required to be a police officer. Anyway, 6:53 p.m. This is audible activity.
I used some magnets, some duct tape, and I got it started. Hold on, I think it just died off.
Okay, that's a loud radio. That's audible activity in direct light.
The vehicle died. Got it started, and then as soon as I was talking, let me start again.
There you go. This is the bus driver monitoring, creating that audible activity.
Good, Jude?
Yeah, it doesn't open if it's not current. That's amplified audible activity using a radio. Indirected light and under the fake sun. Just want to point that out. Anyway, this sensational activity that I'm documenting and all the asinine methods that the entity has engaged in, because it's a train, because trains are heavy. Oh, this is employee 2811 engaging in what is that method of activity creation monitoring me. As I stated earlier, this is the reality and this is relevant to what I've already revealed. I'm showing you what's not the natural environment. You're not surrounded in any natural environment. It's in conflict with what are scientific facts, with which we rely upon with regard to how our environment actually works, and the sun and what the sun does, and how it's not ever, based on scientific facts, how there's supposedly one sun, and how the sun is not, by its very nature, remaining at a single address, which my documentation shows, remaining literally over me, in perfect alignment with me, and its zenith over me. And this is from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. That's not the sun, all right? And so with following that, to that end, you're talking about what is understanding, as I've also revealed, sensational activity. Sensational activity, the entity engaging in this, it's demonic, all right? How do you have what is the creation mimicking what's supposedly an earthquake while you hear the sound of a train, and I guess an unintelligent person that just doesn't question anything, that, has no, negligible amount of common sense, would never think or question that how would you even have an earthquake when you're, just because there's a train and you can hear it does not equal, oh, that's an earthquake. Well, not even the term earthquake, but that's going to cause the floor to shake. No, it doesn't. And while I stood outside capturing video of Union Pacific repeatedly stalking, while I'm at the museum capturing video, there is no ground shaking at all. There's no earthquake created by virtue of the use of a train. Okay? So I want to be clear, and I'm basing that, I'm not saying that it's impossible, because say you live at a place where you're really close to a train, like an apartment or something. I'm thinking like, you know, somewhere in like New York or some sort of places like that where you live, or even LA, I suppose. But this is not the case at Mercy House. This is not the case. It's not shake. I'm standing in the laundry room. The train is in motion. There is no earthquake created. Okay, there's no shaking in the ground, and it's the same being in the office and the entity repeatedly, as I've documented that before, creating what is sensational activity. That is activity that's occurring in directed light while demons are surrounding you. It is a method of what is 7K8297. It is the ongoing elements of monitoring. All right, it's demonic activity though, and it's also that which is pursuant the same adjectives that I use: this impossible light activity, this impossible audible activity, and this impossible sensational activity. It's not even. It's out of bounds with common sense. It's out of bounds with what is nature too. All right, so you're talking about what the entity does with sound, what the entity does with light, and what the entity does with regard to that which you can physically perceive, all to maintain what is an environment around you conducive to monitoring you with communication devices where demons are targeting you, okay? And I say all that to say, that's prefacing my statement and what I stated earlier. This sensational activity, this is an example of what I've documented. This is speaking to, with regard to the unnatural environment. You need to know also with regard to what is this fake sun, this directed light, earthquakes and whatnot. You need to know what's going on with in the climate and things that we call tornadoes and acts of God. I put that in air quotes. That's demonic activity. It's no climate change. It's no global warming. There is no global warming, by the way, when I am showing you documentation of the entity keeping what is necessarily the fake sun. That's the proper term. Over me all day long. All day. There's no global warming. It's warming whatever building I'm inside of. There's no, what globe are you warming when you're stalking with the fake sun all day? All right, so you're talking about what is, with regard to the natural environment as it is purportedly, how it purportedly operates, and what I'm documenting, which is in direct conflict with that. All right, and so this is speaking to what are theories that we're told about as to what's going on in the natural environment and how the environment operates and what's the cause of earthquakes, tectonic plates, and what that. We studied all that. I took my science classes. I got A's in my science class. I know about all that stuff. And I'm speaking to the reality. This is demonic. You're given explanations. You're given narratives for what is actually demonic. Satan maintains real-time control of the environment. You're talking about what is earthquake? Guess what? Guess what an earthquake is? It's sensational activity magnified. All right, this is what the entity is doing while I'm in the bathroom and creating what is mini earthquakes around me. And I'm even breaking that down because the train in operation, even that train track abutting Mercy House, is not creating any vibration, shaking of the ground in the bathroom. That's a stalker that's monitoring, and a bunch of demons doing so, targeting me together, targeting the area where I'm at. All right, at the museum, the train in operation is not vibrating the concrete. That's the work of Satan. And that's exactly what the entity does. This is how we have earthquakes, by the way. So I wanted to reiterate that because I meant that. That's exactly what I was speaking to. And I found it relevant at that point, but I wasn't going to hone in on that because I was at that moment documenting a lot going on at the same time. But I want to be clear. I am revealing and exposing a criminal system. And that criminal system is underway by a specific type of people, not just the fact that they're criminals, they are of a specific condition. They are the demon possessed, which is a very real condition, and it is also demonstrated through their documented criminal activity, which is stalking with directed light, an impossible occurrence happening over and over and over again amongst the population in a very specific environment. That environment is literally a scientific impossibility. This is revealing what is demonic activity, not a conspiracy theory, not just some weird religious story that people either choose to believe or disbelieve. It's actually a matter of evidence because we can all sit around and agree on what are scientific facts. All right, and we're speaking the same language when we're talking about what is a scientific impossibility as a matter of science, as a matter of nature. Even as a matter of common sense, it's impossible that that would be the case. You're witnessing the demonic as you see it, as you hear it, as you feel it even. All right, that is revealing that system. Employee 2811 is group stalking with the Ontario Police. You can see group stalk, the demon that is driving that Ontario Police vehicle, directed light covering that wall of the Yangtze restaurant that's closed down. All right, that's Euclid and B Street. I took a picture of that at 7 p.m. That's a demon. And they were group stalking with helicopters over me today. And that's employee 2811 engaging in what is, that's called impunity while he's monitoring. So I just want to be clear, that's a demon. 8URT013 is monitoring with the Ontario Police as well. And monitoring with this minion who's blasting a radio, which is facilitation and directed light. So like I was stating, that is the what I mentioned earlier, and that is what is the reality of the way that this environment operates around us. It's real-time control, and it's demonic. 8BBW120. Contrary to what are the explanations were given about how the environment works and what nature does and the natural evolution and the intensification of the sea, it's a bunch of BS. It's demonic. All right, and this is demonic conduct that you're listening to. That's employee 2811. He's a sex offender as well, molesting, and that's amplified audible activity, and that's also harassment while I document him, and then his radio begins, it restarts. That's P.O.C. All right, it is currently 7:01 p.m. Excuse me.
Please have your fare ready. Be fair.
That is, again, license plate
No courtesy.
1370398, bus 1327, group stalking with the Ontario Police Department. (7:02 p.m.) Alrighty, and this employee, this is Omnitrans, group stalking, monitoring with those under the age of 18 as well. License 54474E2, 6MLH531. And the Ontario Police group stalking as they are engaging in what is stalking by helicopter, 8DHJ436, 8MCD138. They're monitoring with the Ontario Police. The same Ontario Police Department who is captured following me from Mercy House, but they were following all day as I was documenting the people of the state. And all they did was show up in their helicopter for me to capture it on video, on more than one occasion today. 64128Z1 hovering over the U-Haul. The U-Haul where I'm at Euclid and Hope Boulevard in Bonneview. The Ontario Police are group stalking, and they're a bunch of demons flying around in helicopters, providing evidence against the very entity that I documented. 6FVN476, and that is the Ontario Police. That's the grounds of ongoing federal prison. All right, the impunity, the criminal conduct, 98QH518, that employee 2811 of Omnitrans is engaging in. All right, in doing so, while the 6RTE868, the Ontario Police Department, who was stalking by helicopter, is crossing path then, and doing so while I capture that on in images, 37355P2, all right? You're talking about what is just plain stalking conduct. This is relevant to what I'm speaking to with regard to impunity, with regard to what are, very demented psychopaths who are stalking, and the fact that their stalking is not concealed anymore. 8UCP843, and Satan's response is to stalk you even more because they're hostile, that you have revealed and exposed the fact that they're stalking. That's literally what the Ontario Police Department are doing. 8SEB191. You have zero credibility. You're a kidnapper. You're a sex offender. You're an obsessed stalker. And then you are also captured group stalking and monitoring me at all hours of the day. All right, stalking while I'm sleeping at the museum where you know exactly where I'm at. And you're using helicopters to do so. You are entirely obsessed and sick, all right? And this is that which is Southwest Airlines, as you hear. Delta Airlines, these demons who are using commercial airline planes, and this is criminal conduct. We're talking about every single last airport in the state of California facilitating this criminal system. 8URH528, 7GTB695, Stater Brothers crossing path, license 4MJ8180, and they're group stalking with the Ontario Police. You also know that while I'm at 646 West Holt Boulevard, and the fake sun is over me, and the entity is group stalking with the Ontario Police at that venue. All right, but they're also using vehicles, commercial vehicles, and crossing path. 8KMT045, 8JUW584. But that's what I want to speak to. You have those demons of the Ontario Police Department. You're group stalking and monitoring, stalking by helicopter from intersection to intersection, and then crossing path in a vehicle. All right, this is what the entity is doing all the time. But as you see the documentation that they're stalking, and there is no question about what I've alleged and what I've established already. And so this is speaking to what is a psychopath and how you're going to diagnose, how you're going to punish. Okay. And that is the threat that the ordinary American citizen has a right to not be subject to. They have a right to not be subject to psychopaths who are placed in positions that they have no business being in. They have a right to not be targeted by a bunch of demon-possessed third parties who are engaging that criminal system with that corrupt police, corrupt law enforcement, because it's not just the police, it's also the sheriffs. License 81357E3, 6WRS 817. And that's exactly what the Ontario police like to be captured in doing. And it's my pleasure. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I continue to do. And they're going to federal prison for that. They're going to federal prison for that. That's demonstrating, again, the unworthiness. They get no benefit of the doubt whatsoever. And I'm showing that they're despicable. There's nothing that you can provide any benefit of the doubt for. And this is the reality of what law enforcement are engaging in this country. 8 VCF 222, 7 DTU 267. And I don't want to hear anything about you can't say that about all police departments because you don't know. It's not just the Ontario police. And it is beyond a coincidence that I'm documenting multiple police departments, by the way, and sheriff's departments. This is indicative of what is going on in the state of California. It's not just a coincidence. And it is speaking to what's going on in the rest of the country, because it's not just the fact that I'm documenting the criminal conduct and the despicable character, all right, of the police and the sheriff's department, law enforcement in the state who are engaging in a matter of public corruption that has yet to be exposed, prosecuted, which is what I'm doing. It is a matter of what is the setting that they're doing it in. By virtue of stalking with the fake sun, do you understand? This is science supports what I'm documenting. It's an unnatural environment. They're engaging in this criminal system. They are of a specific condition. They're a bunch of demons, and they're engaging in corruption in this country. And you do not know their condition, and you also don't even know the criminal conduct that you're subject to. And you are in that environment as well, because there's only one son. And guess what? The alleged one son, as a matter of documentation, which is impossible that it's the case, but documentation shows that the entity is keeping the one son over me all day long. It is not just in California. It's not just in Southern California. And it's not a coincidence. It's not possible. It's not even reasonable to suggest it. You cannot even, it is untenable to suggest that. It's just these departments, these police departments in this area of Southern California and Los Angeles. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've alleged it, and I showed you what is a pattern. And this is ongoing everywhere that you go. 1545805, there is no defense of law enforcement in this, in the court system. Speaking, you can't. Yes, you can. It's a pattern. And guess what? It's establishing a pattern amongst a group. That pattern applies with regard to establishing that pattern. You're talking about what would be take a substantial amount of evidence to establish a pattern amongst a group, right? You got different people, you're going to different places, you got all manner all the time. And guess what? The pattern is there. 7X19660. The pattern is there. And the pattern has been captured over a term of years, by the way. Stalking me from city to city, county to county, in helicopters and airplanes for years. That's not a coincidence. It's impossible. That's impossible as the fake sun is. But guess what? I captured it. I documented it. There are no grounds for in any way defending law enforcement in the state of California or in this country. When you are looking at that despicable conduct coming and hovering over me, coming from the backside of U-Haul and flying over my head, flying over and stalking by helicopter and doing so at all hours of the night, what are you talking about? You're talking about you don't have any grounds to do what the entity sought to do, what these court systems sought to do, while there is no evidence suggesting otherwise. That there are grounds to disregard what are allegations of criminal conduct by police, improper conduct by the police, because in one way or another, if you actually cause them to serve the consequences, the penalties for their violations, whatever they may be, then that's going to send a message that's demoralizing to the rest of law enforcement who are doing the right thing. It's just a small percentage. That's not substantiated by what I have documented. It's not. It's not substantiated. Guess what? In Southern California, in a very small area, every single last one of those police departments engaging in group stalking. Every single last one of them. That's not substantiated by the pattern that's established. Okay, so you're talking about what is just throwing out. You're talking about anybody that's making that statement. You're just throwing out what are vacuous statements, which you yourself cannot even substantiate. You yourself have not even been subject to what is group stalking, or so you don't know it. You don't even know what you're subject to. Or you're a minion and you know exactly what you're subject to, and you are counting on what is the ability to none other than debate without any facts. Well, you can't argue against the facts. You can't argue against the documentation. And these are demons stalking with the police. 6FPD 300, 5UEK 155. That's disgusting, nauseating, despicable conduct that the Ontario Police Department illustrate day in and day out. Day in and day out. There are no grounds under any circumstances where you can defend them. And guess what? It's a template, because this is the attitude that needs to be taken toward law enforcement in this country. Because there is establishing now that there are no grounds to assume that law enforcement are above suspicion, that they are above engaging in what is conduct that is unbecoming, that is, first of all, serving as what is disqualification. There's not grounds for it anymore. And if the evidence substantiates the allegation, then you're prosecuted, period. Period. License 7UVT280. And that's speaking to what is a system that is designed to protect them, by the way. And I'm speaking to that. Okay, I'm speaking to that. I'm speaking to that corrupt system that I personally documented and witnessed. Okay, I personally witnessed. I saw those criminals in action in the court. 8KJR 507. I saw it with my own eyes. Witnessed it. And I also told them while they were engaging it that they're going to federal prison. All right, convinced that they're going to get away with it. Convinced that I'm just another one that's fine. But I told them the truth then when they were engaging in it, and they are going to federal prison, and it is speaking to what is a new climate. This is different terrain. It's a whole other landscape. This is the reality of what law enforcement are very likely engaging in, what the court systems are very likely engaging in, and the attitude that they are not likely engaging in what is conduct unbecoming of law enforcement agencies, and that we ought to be giving them the benefit of the doubt, and that there should be a heavier burden in order to suggest that law enforcement are engaging in what? No, that is absolutely unfounded, and it is unjust. And their ability to remain as corrupt officials does not in any way outlaw, they don't have a right to do that, and it in no way outweighs the rights of American citizens to not be subject to corruption, to not be subject to what are nauseating and despicable infections to the public. That's what they are. They make me sick. Okay? And that is why I am the one speaking to it, because I'm not only revealing it, I'm exposing it, I'm prosecuting it. And it's not a matter of me just prosecuting the Ontario Police Department. It's a matter of you need to understand open up your eyes and understand what is the proper mindset, the proper approach when you are looking at and assessing law enforcement in this country. No, they are not angels. No, they are not more than likely. And so actually, I'm not even going to make that statement that they in general are more than likely engaging in what is not right versus right. I'm not even going to say that. What I am stating is that there is evidence suggesting that there are no grounds to make that sort of presumption, to provide that sort of unfair advantage with regard to their treatment in court. That's removed. And that's pretty much that's the slant toward law enforcement in court. It doesn't apply. There's no grounds for it at all. Okay? So I'm not going to speak generally about what all law enforcement are doing. And the opposite end of that is that nobody else can either, because I've documented the contrary. I've documented the very opposite of what they speak about and the grounds of why they're not prosecuting what is an alleged defendant that is a police officer or a sheriff in a court of law. And let me be clear, they're facilitating criminal activity. This is public corruption that's going on in the country. This is how terrorism is underway and facilitated, and doing so in a very subtle way. A very subtle way. Very subtle. Very, very subtle. Okay, well, I have blown that up, and there's actually nothing subtle about it when you're getting the proper setting, when you're getting what are the methods that are employed, when you're understanding what is the fictitious authority, when you're getting getting an understanding of what are the details that apply. Oh, it's not subtle at all. There's nothing subtle about it whatsoever. All right, that's Union Pacific stalking. It's 7:14 p.m. And so that is the entity engaging in that pattern of conduct, and that's the significance of capturing what is stalking conduct by the Ontario Police. All right, they have defecated on their own name. It's one thing for somebody to make an allegation, right? You can make an allegation. And again, this is what I'm speaking to. But you've got such a burden because by virtue of what is their position, you've got such a burden. So you can make an allegation, but good luck on trying to prove it. Good luck. all right, because they're given all of this deference. They're given it's so unlikely because, and you're going to have to provide 3 mountains of evidence in order to prosecute, because it's so not healthy for society, and it sends such a demoralizing message to our law enforcement who are around the country. More of them are doing good than are not. I think all of that is irrelevant. You're going to deal with what's going on where you are located, and you can and what's going on here is speaking to what is going on in the rest of the country, and I have demonstrated that as well. They're in an environment that is a natural one. That's the setting where it's going on, and it's speaking to their condition. And these are on law enforcement agencies across the country, and this is the system that they're engaging in. This is the system that they're engaging in, and they're protected by those criminals, because that's exactly what they are. All right, they're liabilities, criminals sitting on the benches, criminals in the DA's office, criminals in the public defender's office, all right, and engaging in what is literally facilitation. All right, and like I said before, I don't have to go to Northern California in order to document that, to know that, in order to be able to state that. No, you're talking about what is a very specific pattern of conduct. In direct conformity to it, you don't engage in what is trying to artificially engineer a criminal case, and then doing so by initiating what is, first of all, a kidnapping based on false allegations, and then trying to then artificially engineer a case for placing an innocent civilian, okay, with a pristine mind state, mental health, all right, never any pristine, okay, and then trying to just put them away in a mental ward. You don't do that for just no reason whatsoever. All right, you don't do that for no reason whatsoever. And guess what? They did that on the outset. It's not only is it not for no reason whatsoever. Excuse me. Not only is it not the case that it was for absolutely no reason. It is furthermore, what you're realizing is that this is indeed the system of group stalking. These are demons who who are engaging in what is surveillance, know exactly what I'm documenting, and that's why they engaged in what is kidnapping me before I even. It's not before I even anything. They kidnapped me and sought to engage in that criminal act against me while they knew I was documenting the pattern of conduct. They knew I was documenting, and not because I took a picture of Jason Knighton's license plate. They knew what I was doing when Jason Knighton and Lester Keys on January 13, 2020 engaged in what is stalking at the 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine Avenue in Ontario. They were stalking with the people of the state, engaging in criminal summoning, and as I exercise my right, engaging in lawful conduct, which, by the way, is not going to be unlawful in any circumstances whatsoever. The criminal is the state, and you're going to document it. You're going to publish it all over the internet. It is public information. It needs to be known immediately what the government is engaging in. But nonetheless, while I am documenting that and taking a picture of their license plate, I am physically attacked, literally by a man, a black man who hops on me, jumps on me and attacks me, and does not say a word, okay? Does not reply to my demand that he tell me why he's touching me. Does not say a word while he physically attacks me. I want to be clear. I was confronted with Satan. That was Satan. Those are demons. There are on many faces. You cannot speak to what is a matter of documentation. The fact that they are demons is also a matter of objective evidence. They're stalking in directed light. You cannot provide any explanation for what is directed light. Standing under a normal light bulb does not create multiple shadows. It does not create light that hops and jumps around, that sits on your person, that does not in any way remove itself when you stand in it. You cannot explain that. You can't explain it. You cannot rationalize it. I've shown what is the impossible. That light activity, those are demons. And by the way, the Ontario Police Department continuously demonstrates its demon possession, even through its obsessive stalking. That is demonic activity. But they're also engaging in demonic activity in a demonic environment. Okay? And they're doing so while they knew before I took a picture. That's not why they were there at that 7-Eleven engaging in criminal summoning, because they already knew that I was documenting. They intended to engage in kidnapping me. They intended to do that. The entity that is placing you under surveillance seeks to conceal a whistleblower, seeks to silence, a whistleblower. And that's essentially what documentation is. You're telling on the government that's placing you under surveillance. Well, the ordinary American citizen probably doesn't even know that it's surveillance, but they know that people are following them. They're suspecting. It's very weird. It's threatening. It's disconcerting. All right. And you cannot go to the police when the police are the ones that are following you around like that, when they're the ones that are harassing you. OK, when they're the ones that are with the people who are following you around, harassing you together, the police aren't going to help you with that. And I documented that as well. So like I said, the reason why that kidnapping and then that ongoing artificially engineered effort to also then defame me, that's called criminal defamation, under which shall be federal policy for prosecuting the state. All right, you're talking about what is a very specific design, specifically designed to silence me. This state knew that I was documenting it. This state knows my condition, meaning the fact that I am not a demon-possessed person. They know that. The demon-possessed are targeting those that are normal. That's what I would say, because the abnormal are those that have Satan on them. And this is real. This is something that, by real, what I mean, this is actually conversations that you can have in Starbucks now, because demonic activity has been fully exposed. It is fully defined. It is fully demonstrated what demonic activity is under what is that scientific impossibility with regard to the environment that you're in, this directed light, the stalking with audible activity, stalking with light activity, the conduct of the demon possessed. That's a matter of conversation. It's a matter of what is behavior in an environment that is a matter of objective evidence. It's not just, oh, she's got a demon because, they threw holy water and then she started jumping up and down and she started speaking in tongues. No, that's not what we're dealing with. That's not what this is about. This is information available to every ordinary person. You don't have to assign yourself to having any sort of religious belief whatsoever. This is information to any and everyone. And those demons knew exactly where I was. They knew already that I was documenting, and those demon-possessed Ontario Police Department, that demon-possessed Ontario Police Department sought to engage in kidnapping. And that's not even the first time they engaged in kidnapping. It was with Jay Burnett, who's going to federal prison. Okay? And I've documented him on many times, but he engaged in kidnapping. The entity sought to, I didn't just turn into a criminal. I never engaged in any criminal act. They kidnapped me while they were engaged in surveillance. So you're seeing the pattern of conduct. So now back in hindsight, which is 2020, this is the system that they're engaging in while they were kidnapping me, okay? They were doing this while they were kidnapping me. Why were they repeatedly kidnapping me? Because they knew that I was documenting them. That's why. Silencing, trying to silence, trying to oppress, trying to defame, render illegitimate. This is a pattern of conduct. That is also if not even more despicable than the way in which that the entity is hovering and stalking from place to place by helicopters. Oh, there is nothing that you can say to defend law enforcement. Nothing. You can go ahead and try, but you're seen as biased. You're seen as unreasonable. Okay? And because you cannot in any way substantiate with evidence. Because evidence suggests, regardless of where you are and how you want to speak about the nation, guess what? If you want to even limit it to California, which is where I'm at, you have what are police departments in Southern California, because I didn't even go to Northern California. And everywhere I'm at in Southern California, the police department's engaging what is stalking and doing so with helicopters. You're talking about what's a very large number and what is, for example, all I did was stay in Southern California. That's all I did. Imagine if I would have been in Northern California. Guess what the pattern, because that's what we're talking, guess what the pattern demonstrates would happen. All right, the police departments in Northern California doing the exact same thing. In the exact same impossible environment, by the way. That's what the pattern suggests. That's what the evidence suggests. All right, and no unsubstantiated theory is supporting anything contrary to that. So that's why I don't want to hear it. And it's not a matter of me not hearing it because I'm not able to argue against it. This is not about arguing. This is not about the ordinary target individual that has to defend themselves. All you have to do is document, because the evidence speaks for itself, first of all. So period. We're going to put a period there because that's period. But second of all, you have what is the evidence of what is a pattern of conduct by an entity. You need to understand, by virtue of, this is not a pattern by a person. All right, this is not a pattern by a couple of people. This is a pattern by the state. You're talking about city to city, county to county, in a specific environment, which in and of itself is a scientific impossibility. It is impossible that the sun itself is remaining directly over my head while I am coming from, for example, Ontario, California, to Upland, California, to Los Angeles, California, and it maintains a central presence in its zenith the entire time as I travel from city to county and back. Okay, that's impossible. But that's me speaking to, that's impossible with regard to what is the natural environment as we understand it, as we're told that it operates. That is the environment where the entity is engaging in what is a very specific pattern. Oh, based on what you would argue to support law enforcement, it's impossible. It's so improbable. We'll say that. It's so highly improbable. It's so highly unlikely that police are engaging in what is such egregious criminal activity. Well, the pattern doesn't suggest that. The pattern does not support that theory at all. And that theory is nothing other than vacuous statements. It doesn't mean anything. Because when you have what is the pattern of conduct as I've exposed it, you can take this very pattern of conduct and apply it to the state that you're in because you have the fake sun over you. That's what you'll realize. You have the fake sun over you because wherever you're standing, we can do a FaceTime live. And I'll show you the fake sun over me at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. And at the same time, that's the fake sun over you. It's not possible. It's impossible. You're talking about what is not just as we were doing FaceTime, the entity's keeping the fake sun over me all day long, not just at that moment where we can FaceTime at the same time and see what is also impossible, that mutual zenith over both of us at the same time in entirely different locations. All I am doing is speaking on what the entity is doing across this country. And guess what? It has implications with what's going on around the world. Okay? And let me give you another real world example. I like to use the names because everybody's paying attention. Everybody's dumbing themselves down by paying attention to, social media with regard to pop culture and whatnot. So everybody paying attention to what is the Kardashians in Italy. Did you know what they were walking under? Somehow they had the sun directly over their head. You could tell by the light activity. In Italy. It was beautiful. Of course it's beautiful. You need to understand what's controlling the environment around us, and it's not the natural environment. It is not the natural environment. And it is not in conformity to what science tells us how the environment works and how earthquakes happen and how tornadoes occur. This is revealing what is very real. Satan is real. Whether you want to however you want to refer to Satan, that really doesn't matter. But you need to understand that this is not any quote unquote natural environment. This is entirely unnatural conduct by those in that unnatural environment. And you're talking about what is an ongoing agenda to keep that environment a mystery to you, keep you ignorant about what's actually surrounding you, and also keep you ignorant about the condition of those in that demonic environment. Not only are they stalking you, but they're the demon possessed. They literally have the spirit of Satan on them. They are entirely abnormal people. They are very dangerous psychopaths, obsessively concerned about those that are not of that condition. Stalking. Okay, that's what the group stalking is. So anyway, I just wanted to go into that because that is all of that is what is revealed while I'm capturing the picture, while I'm capturing ongoing video of the Ontario Police Department swooping over the U-Haul and hovering over, stalking with a helicopter. And then as I get on the bus and go down the street, doing so again, hovering over the apartment building, capturing years of the entity stalking by helicopter, flying over my head as I'm walking down the street, as I'm sleeping at the museum, as I am sleeping in any hotel room. The entity is engaged in ongoing obsessive stalking, and there is nothing that is in any way grounds to defend what is law enforcement from what is, this is not about slandering some police department. This is about trying to defend them from what is necessary legislation. They're not to be protected. They are not above suspicion. They are not above engaging in what is entirely egregious and criminal conduct in violation of constitutional and human rights. The very pattern of conduct as I've documented it is speaking to that. It is direct evidence of it. There is no argument suggesting that you have no grounds to treat them as though they are likely to engage in whatever allegations are waged against them. If the evidence suggests it, if the evidence proves it, again, beyond a reasonable doubt, then that's it. All right. And that's what I'm speaking to. Not only am I prosecuting the attitude toward law enforcement, it is absolutely unfounded. And I'm piercing through, and literally setting ablaze what is the veil, which is covering up the criminal conduct that it is enabling this criminal system in this country. And guess what? Who's at the forefront of it? Law enforcement. This isn't about some Black Lives Matter. Do you know those black folks? Blacker than me. Okay, black and purple. Black as night. Okay, and I'm serious because you can use that adjective all you want. A dark skin as dark as you can get, and I can say that I'm a black woman. Okay, black as night, monitoring me with police. Okay, and then we'll get on the news, what you're seeing on the news, which is a method of us separating humanity. We're not separated by race, ladies and gentlemen. We're separated by what you are made up of, which, by the way, this I would say, pop culture, this obsession with superficiality wants to distract you from that. And by the way, those are minions doing that. While you're watching the Kardashians at their wedding in Italy, it's a distraction. They're minions. Under the fake sun, by the way. Okay? I want to be clear. We're not separated by race or politics or any of that. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. We are not separated by race whatsoever. We're separated by what your inner makeup is. There are those who walk in darkness. I refer to them as demon possessed because that's what they are. That's what their behavior is direct evidence of. They're present in a demonic environment, hoping that you would never know about that. They're engaging in what is demonic behaviors, hoping that you would remain ignorant with regard to what is the substance of what they're doing around you. All right. And also I pointed out where you could start with. Oh, you could start with what is Title 18, Section 2261A, because these demons, the state of California, they're monitoring you. They're monitoring you. They're not just stalking you. They're placing you under surveillance, and they're doing it with law enforcement. And that's a demonic system, and it is protected. It is not coincidentally so. It is protected deliberately in the courts. And I am setting ablaze to that. There are no grounds to treat them differently in a court. You prosecute them based on the evidence. There are no grounds to suggest that there are more of them, or I don't want to hear nothing about those vague ratios. Those ratios, that doesn't mean anything. There is no demoralizing message sent to law enforcement. If you're not a criminal, if you're not engaging, if you're not some Satan-serving minion placing American citizens under surveillance, if you're not violating their constitutional rights, then you don't have anything to be demoralized about, period. All right, and this is Union Pacific, the stalker, stalking in direct light as I captured today, and stalking all night at the museum. We're flashing direct lighters on the museum. Union Pacific is stalking and doing so with impunity. This is P.O.C. It is currently 7:31 p.m. and that's amplified audible activity. That's the work of Satan. You're literally hearing Satan at work. All right, that actual train is not making that noise. That level of volume, this is the work of Satan, as I've shown you what is directed light. So understand what is demonic activity. Okay, that's what Union Pacific, I'm looking at a train, and you're going to prosecute the company that is in front of you. They're representing the people of the state. They're engaging in criminal conduct. The police are monitoring while the ongoing elements of monitoring are created, while a train is a means of what is supposed to be the form. Let me be clear. You don't need the Union Pacific train on the train tracks right now in order to surround me with the sound of the train. That's what Satan is doing. All right, this is ongoing demonic activity, and I'm just breaking that down for you so you can understand that. But anyway, that is going to the prosecution of what is Union Pacific providing its trains, engaging in criminal surveillance with the Ontario Police Department. It's currently 7:32 p.m. and I am at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, where Union Pacific is engaged in ongoing obsessive stalking. It's demonic activity, that's terrorism that Union Pacific is engaging in and was engaging in all day while at Mercy House. And this is how you are also documenting and prosecuting a company such as Union Pacific while they're engaging in this very conduct, while your panties are down in the bathroom. That's the people of the state being a sex offender, engaging in invasion of privacy by an entity. All the federal crimes that they're being prosecuted for together. Not all, and with the people of the state that are utilizing, that are engaging in the pattern of conduct and doing so with a company name, via a company name, including a company name, that's criminal and civil proceedings. It's for the people of the state as well, but I want to be clear, you're draining the pockets of these companies that are in this country making a buck off of American citizens and placing them under surveillance, violating their rights in entirely demonic methods. All right, it's currently 7:33 p.m. That's essentially, they are trying to engage in what is business while terrorizing American citizens. That's literally what they're doing. Anyway, it's currently 7:33 p.m. and this is P.O.C.